Do you wish you were a little bit taller? How nice it would have been if you had a magic wand that could change your height. Well, that's a far-fetched idea, but at least the demographic experts have enough data to correlate our height with our age and other aspects of life. Studies of growth data shows how much heights have changed over time. So who are the tallest men of all? Dutchmen are the tallest in the world with an average of 6 feet, while Latvian women hold the record at 5 feet 7 inches, while men from Timor-Leste at 5 feet 3 inches and Guatemalan women at 4 feet 11 inches are considered the shortest. What happened to the United States? Americans aren't quite as tall compared with the rest of the world anymore. A century ago, American men ranked as the third tallest in the world. Now they rank 37th with an average of 5 feet 10 inches. Similarly, American women had ranked as the fourth tallest in the world and now they rank as the 42nd tallest in the world. Meanwhile, East Asian countries have seen dramatic height increases over the past century. Japanese men have grown nearly 6 inches and South Korean women have grown almost 8 inches. The biggest gains in height since 1985 were in China and South Korea. Countries like Bangladesh and India has also seen the rise in height, but at much lower levels compared to Japan and South Korea. Height also increased in countries such as Uganda and Niger during the early 20th century. Growing taller was a global trend of the 20th century. In many countries like Africa, New Zealand and the USA, boys and girls gained too little height and put on too much weight over the past decades in comparison to their peers elsewhere. Similar patterns were observed in Malaysia and Mexico. Now the question arises, what makes you tall or short? The genetic component does play a role in determining height in populations, but there are other factors that contribute more to the changes in height over the time. Most populations would grow to roughly similar heights if they were all in the same conditions. How tall we are now is strongly influenced by the environment we grew up in. Height differences across nations seem to be caused mostly by social conditions such as income, nutrition, hygiene, and pregnancy experience. Indeed, one reason for the correlation between height and achievement is that kids whose mothers are healthy during pregnancy and who grow up with sufficient food tend to be taller adults. Intake of high-quality animal protein like milk, dairy products, meat, and eggs is associated with a surprisingly large number of benefits. The 20th century saw dramatic improvements in diet. The quantity of food intake increased and its quality improved as incomes rose faster than ever before. How do we know this? Well, during World War I and II, when hunger was common among German population, the heights of the children actually declined. They only recovered during the post-war years. Similarly, the Chinese gains were interrupted by the world's largest famine from 1959 to 1961. Repeated infection during childhood slows growth as the child's nutrition intake declines, or is used by the body to fight many childhood diseases like pneumonia, bronchitis, or diarrhea. Urbanization is also one of the factors that increased height. Urban environment improved quality of drinking water and also improved the disposal of sewage. In urban districts, horses and pigs disappeared from the streets and backyards, which improved the quality of housing. The good news is that being taller is associated with longer life expectancy. This is largely due to a lower risk of dying of cardiovascular disease among the taller people. Taller people tend to naturally have bigger lungs and stronger hearts, says experts, which may partially explain these effects. While taller people have been found to have larger salaries, wait, what? But why? Well, this is of course in reference to sports where height is a practical necessity. Correlation between height and earnings was first documented in 1915, but there are also downsides being tall. Greater height is potentially associated with an increased risk of some cancers. It could be that taller people have more cells in their body and take more energy, which has been linked with certain cancers. Why do you think Dutch people are the tallest on the earth? It wasn't always this way. Before the Second World War, Dutch males were smaller than American men. In the mid-1800s, men in the Netherlands were actually among the shortest people in Europe. Experts suggest that one reason could be that people in the Netherlands have healthy amount of intake of dairy products in their diet. Studies suggest this has contributed to their increased height. Milk products rich in calcium builds bone, and growth is dependent on having a good supply of that. So that's it then. Size matters. To make the tall story short, the easiest way to improve a child's chances of growing taller is for them to drink more milk. So next time your mother gives you a glass of milk, you know why she's giving it, and you being a good boy, don't make a fuss. I am 5'4". What about you? Write your height in the comments below and let me know if you have learned anything from this video. Thanks for watching, and will appreciate if you can subscribe.